What's up, family? Rasati here in Singapore, and as always, thank you so much for joining me on the Night Out podcast. If you are brand new to this channel, thank you so much for dropping by. I hope you find some, I don't know, some wisdom, some comfort in this podcast episode today. And if you're an old, loyal, faithful friend of mine who's been listening forever, thank you so much for stopping back by here. Hopefully, as always, the content is helpful, it's soothing, it gives you something to think about, it gives you another perspective to consider as you walk your way, and I do mean walk your way through this hero's journey that is your life. You guys, I came across this post, and my God, if it isn't so damn relevant, right? The post says, a conversation about how you feel isn't supposed to end up in an argument. And let me let that sink in for a second. I'm going to say, a conversation about how you feel isn't supposed to end up in an argument. You know how many times this has happened to me? And I bet you it's happened 100 times to you as well. You're just trying to let the other person know, hey, I don't feel comfortable. I'm upset, I'm sad, I'm jealous, whatever the case may be. And suddenly they want to tell you that no, that's not what you feel. No, I didn't do that to you. No, that's not, accurate. You're making things up. You're putting words in my... No, stop. Hang on. I am allowed to tell you how I feel about things. Just like you're allowed to tell me how you feel about things. How I feel has nothing to do with your intentions for whatever it is that you said or did. Nothing to do with it. How I feel has everything to do with my background, my baggage, where I'm coming from, what I've been through before, and what I take certain words or actions to mean, because this is what it means generally in my life. This is how I was trained to take these things. That isn't to say that if I sit down and start telling you how I feel about something, that you can sit in my face and tell me, oh no, that sounds like a personal problem to me. You need to get that sorted out. No, if you love me and we are friends even, right? Siblings, friends, relatives, co-workers, whatever. If you care about my happiness at all, the best thing you can do is to put your ideas aside, listen to what it is that I'm telling you so you can understand where I'm coming from, instead of taking what I'm saying about how I feel as a personal attack on who you are, right? That invalidates your sudden existence, and so you feel the need to defend yourself and disregard what I'm saying. It happens a lot, okay? Let's see if I can work out some examples to help you understand better. There was an incident at home one day, and my mom decided she was so uncomfortable that she could no longer take it, and she was going to speak up on the issue. And she pulled everyone together. It was like a impromptu family meeting, and she basically focused everything on one person in that group rather than addressing every one of us. And she thought in her mind that because she had everyone present, that she was just informing everyone. But the way she said everything was focused directly on one person, and so that person took offense, and when we all left the room, they felt some kind of way. So me, trying my best to ease the situation and make sure all parties concerned were happy in the end, because it is my house. I'm trying to figure out, how to all of us live under the same roof. I went quietly to my mother afterwards, and I told her, look, I think that could have been handled differently, because it felt like an intervention. It felt like you corralled everyone together to tell one person off. And she immediately launched into, oh my gosh, why are you guilt tripping me? Why are you trying to make me feel bad? It took me everything in me to muster up the courage to do this thing that I felt the need to do. And now you're making me feel bad about it? You're telling me that I'm wrong? You're putting words in my mouth? Why do you always see something so negative? And I'm thinking, okay. So I was telling her, from my point of view, because I was not the person under fire in that group meeting, but I wanted her to know that the way it seemed was almost as if you were targeting one person, now with an audience, so that everybody knows that you're targeting them. I was letting her know how I felt, so that she could maybe in the future, if she ever found herself in a similar situation, try to address things differently. Take that person aside by themselves, perhaps, right? So they don't feel so witnessed. They don't feel so judged by the audience that suddenly is in the room. To which she responded, instead of listening to what I was saying, she invalidated my perspective by telling me that I was wrong, I was making things up, I was being negative, I had a bad, mindset, that I was seeing everything wrong on purpose, and it wasn't so. I was trying to give her feedback. Because as much as she wants to keep the peace, so do I. And she's going to do the best that she can. She's human. She has room for error. So am I. But unfortunately, it ended up being an argument about what my true intentions were, whether I was invalidating her entire way of being or not. And we weren't talking about the issue itself. The issue kind of escaped itself. When you pull an entire group together, it needs to be an entire announcement for the entire group, which means you're addressing a behavior that everyone does, not just one person. Because if you're addressing one person's behavior in a group, I'm guaranteeing the entire group knows exactly who you're talking about, and the person feels even more spotlighted. But that's one example of me expressing my feelings, and suddenly I'm being invalidated. Because me expressing my feelings hurts your feelings suddenly. It makes you feel like some kind of way. Another example is I have a best friend. And I love this person dearly, and I would do anything for them. And they asked me to do something, and I wasn't sure if it would work out, and I expressed my fear and concern of the issue, and they immediately shot back with, "Oh, you don't trust me? You don't think I would take care of everything? You don't think I would, pay attention in this situation? You don't think that I'm capable of making an educated decision?" No, it's not that at all. But if I'm afraid, I'm allowed to say that I'm afraid, correct? It's not a judgment against you. I'm voicing a concern. If you had a group project and you were supposed to drill into the earth, right, you're depending on the entire group's expertise in various aspects of this project for this thing to go well. So if one person says, "Hey, I don't know, I'm a little nervous," you as a leader is not going to jump down their throat and say, "Oh my gosh, are you judging my ability to lead?" Right? Wouldn't you want to take that into consideration because it's a dangerous job? Little things like this happen all the time. There is an example of my daughter coming to me and saying, "Why are you always picking on me? You're so mean. You don't take me into consideration." I'm thinking, where the hell is this coming from? I'm a good mom, right? I'm a good mom. Why is she saying I'm not a good mom? Suddenly I'm feeling defensive. Why is she saying these things? Why is she shooting back at me? But the truth is, she's allowed to say, "Hey, you're doing something that makes me feel uncomfortable," to which I actually need to put my ego aside. I need to put my own feelings aside and listen to what she's telling me and ask her clarifying questions so I can see where she's coming from and see if there's something that I could adjust. Because that is the point of discussion in the first place. Two different people with differing points of view, with differing ideas of what life is meant to be like, what love is meant to seem like, right? And two different sets of feelings. So if one person finds the courage to come and tell you, "Hey, I don't feel comfortable about this," the best thing you can do is put your ego aside. Do not turn this into, "Oh, she's attacking me," or "he's attacking me," and listen to what it is that they're telling you. Take out all the adjectives, make it plain English. "I don't like this." What is the this? I have no idea. Look at the this and figure out what you can do to maybe adjust it so it doesn't affect them so much. And that also is a form of showing love. Active listening is a quality time love language. You're paying attention. You're showing them that they're important. Everything that comes out of their mouth is important because their happiness is important to you. Everyone being happy means less quarrels, less friction, less drama in a house. So please, pay attention to the people around you and the way things are in life. Notice that everyone has the right to feel some kind of way. And if they find the courage to be vulnerable in front of you and tell you, "This makes me uncomfortable," please do not turn it into a personal attack on yourself where you need to defend and invalidate so you feel better about yourself. Remember, you are human and they are too, and that their way of interpreting things is true for them. Even if your intention was nothing to do with how they ended up taking the situation. Find a middle ground. Talk to each other. That's the only way this becomes a discussion and not an argument. An argument is where two people try to prove to each other they are right, which means no one is right because I'm right and you're right, but I don't want to see that you could be right and you don't want to see that I could be right. It's an argument. We're trying to prove that the other person is wrong. A discussion, however, is where I tell you what I feel, you tell me what you feel, and we try to sort out how to move forward together, where both our needs are met as best we can. I hope that makes sense, you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. A little long-winded to get today, but I needed to let you see how feelings lead to a lot of arguments, and they really shouldn't. I hope that helps. Bye.